Hello, everyone. This is Maria Chung Willoughby with another reading for my summer 2024 readings. This is called Stumbling on Happiness, written by Daniel Gilbert. I'm going to read a little bit on the back about it. It says, "Why are lovers quicker to forgive their partners for infidelity than for leaving dirty dishes in the sink? Why will sighted people pay more to avoid going blind than blind people will pay to regain their sight? Why do dining companions insist on ordering different meals instead of getting what they really want? Why do pigeons seem to have such excellent aim? Why can't we remember one song while listening to another? And why does the line at the grocery store always slow down the moment we join it?" In this brilliant, witty, and accessible book, renowned Harvard psychologist Daniel Gilbert describes the foibles of imagination and illusions of foresight that cause each of us to misconceive our tomorrows and misestimate our satisfactions. Vividly bringing to life the latest scientific research in psychology, cognitive neuroscience, philosophy, and behavioral economics, Gilbert reveals what scientists have discovered about the uniquely human ability to imagine the future and about our capacity to predict how much we will like it when we get there. With penetrating insight and sparkling prose, Gilbert explains why we seem to know so little about the hearts and minds of the people we are about to become. Daniel Gilbert is Harvard College Professor of Psychology at Harvard University. And this book was published, not sure yet. He has won numerous awards for his teaching and research, including the American Psychological Association's Distinguished Scientific Award for an early career contribution to psychology. His research has been covered by the New York Times Magazine, Forbes, Money, CNN, U.S. News and World Report, The New Yorker, The Wall Street Journal, Scientific American, Self, Men's Health, Redbook, Glamour, Psychology Today, and many others. His short stories have appeared in Amazing Stories and Asimov Science Fiction magazine, as well as other magazines and anthologies. He lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And this was published in 2005. And he leaves a quote, "One cannot divine nor forecast the conditions that will make happiness. One only stumbles upon them by chance in a lucky hour at the world's end somewhere and holds fast to days as to fortune or fame." And that's from Willa Cather Le Lavendue, 1902. I don't agree with that. I'm happy today. I'm happy most days, most every day. And I have challenges, and the challenges that I come across, I go by the Bible verse, everything is meant to prosper you, not to destroy you. It's for you to learn and grow and develop. But anywho, acknowledgments. This is the part of the book in which the author typically claims that nobody writes a book by himself, and then names all the people who presumably wrote the book for him. It must be nice to have friends like that. Alas, all the people who wrote this book are me. So let me instead thank those who, by their gifts, enabled me to write a book without them. First and foremost, I thank the students and colleagues who did so much of the research described in these pages and let me share in the credit. I owe a very special debt of gratitude to my friend and longtime collaborator, Tim Wilson of University of Virginia. And then he thanks all the people that read it. Okay, forward. How sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Ooh. What would you do right now? And I talked the other day about how I was sexually assaulted or attempted to for the first time. And actually last night I had somebody creeping around here too. And I talked about how, there have been kids that have been raped. Mothers and vice versa as well. Mothers that have been raped by their children. And that's horrifying. And that quote brought that to mind. How sharper than a super serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. And I think of all the parents that lost their lives to kids that did away with them. Some were because they were abused, and some for other reasons. But anywho, what would you do right now if you learned that you were going to die in 10 minutes? That's a good question. Nothing, I would just enjoy this 10 minutes because I really am enjoying myself. Would you race upstairs and light that Marlboro you've been hiding in your sock drawer since the Ford administration? Would you waltz into your boss's office and present him with a detailed description of his personal defects? Would you drive out to that steakhouse near the new mall and order a T-bone medium rare with an extra side of the really bad cholesterol? Hard to say, of course, but of all the things you might do in your final 10 minutes, it's pretty safe that bet that a few of them are things you actually did today. No, that's not true for me. So this book is definitely not for me, but I did read a little bit, and I'll probably read a little bit more another time and share it with you guys. But again, you might have a different experience. So far, like I said, this is my first time picking up and reading it. You know, you got my opinion as we went along. But I love you with the love of Christ. Goodbye. I chose this book because I like happiness. You know, who doesn't?